Hello, good morning. Welcome to the Our Thriller story by Fernanda Juliet Suárez Patiño, Dana Solange Chaparro Rico, María Camila Roa Correa, and me, María Camila Urueña Arevalo. Please enjoy. There was a starry night. A group of friends decided to organize a stargazing trip in the countryside, not knowing it would turn out to be a night they would never forget. Lucia, Valentina, and Camila are the main characters. They had not spent time together since they had started working in different cities. They embarked on a road trip to camp in the hills and observe the stars for 3 nights. They had never experienced anything like this before, but they all felt excited about it. Only Valentina's sister, Camila, felt a bit hesitant and worried. When Lucia expressed her enthusiasm for the trip, Camila did too, while Valentina remained silent before leaving for the countryside. Valentina asked Dan, "Are you sure you want to go on this trip?" Lucia and Camila noticed her apprehension and gently Lucia said to Valentina, "Are you very hesitant?" And Valentina replied, "No, of course not." Then Lucia said, "Me neither." And they all got into the car, with Camila being the last one to do so. They had been driving for 30 minutes. They had been sharing a loudly during their journey to the countryside. Camilla had managed to put her worries aside and had joined in the fun. Suddenly, the car's engine stopped running. The friends thought it was just a minor issue. However, when Valentina tried to start it again, there was a strange noise and then a long bang. The car has broken down in the middle of nowhere, leaving them stranded under the starry night sky.
They were alone, in the middle of nowhere, without a signal, barely surrounded by nature and the sound of nocturnal animals. So they decided to get out of the car without thinking about what would happen next. None of three had knowledge of mechanics or had studied anything related. When opening the engine, it was noticed that the battery had exploded, causing serious damage to the cables and hoses. For them, it was clear that they had to spend the night there. To so occupy the time, they tried to talk something different to pass the time. Lucia's silence was deeper and more uncomfortable, because she felt guilty because it was her idea. At that moment, Valentina asked her, "Do you remember the strange feeling I had few hours ago?" Lucia replied, "Do you think that feeling is because of this or by chance?" Camilla said, "I think we made a very hasty decision when they thought that the situation could not get worse. Very strange things began to happen. Voices and blows around the car that were inexplicable, so fear invaded the whole place."
After hearing this news, they went to see what happened. They were lost from walking so much because they were afraid they were overwhelmed in the middle of the cold and dark night. The only thing that illuminated them were the stars. They only had a flashlight, their clothes and their cell phones that we practically did. Camilla told them I had a bad feeling and you didn't listen to me. Valentina responded, so, so none of three is to blame for what happened to you. But we are also going to try to find a way to get back to our car and look for help. Lucia exclaimed, neither. We won't have to be negative. They could find their way because they were walking in circles without realizing it and they had gotten too far from the car. Then they heard a noise like the previous one again, which was like a woman asking for help. But this time it was louder and they became more worried. Lucia said, let's go. Look who needs help. Neither two girls responded. Let's go, but then we have to be careful. They were too scared when suddenly their flashlight went out and they left something happening behind them and they started screaming. Then they continued listening to loud woman for help and suddenly the flashlight worked again and they saw a woman with a long dress full of blood crying and asking for help. They did not understand anything because they were too afraid. They approached with great fear and terror to help her and she was a spirit and joining Camilla.
At that moment, neither of them had any idea what happened moments before. Their first instinct had been to run in search of help for Camilla. However, Lucia had been unaware that she would have found a place that would provide them with an answer to everything that had transpired. Are you sure we'll find someone to help us? Lucia had asked worriedly. Valentina had replied with disgust. I told you be quiet. Follow me. They both had continued running until they stumbled upon a seemingly abandoned cabin. Lucia, the door is locked. There's no way to open it. Valentina, wait a moment. There must be a key. Even though they were running out of time, their search of the key among the other room and rocks. To Lucia's surprise, Valentina had apparently already known where it was. Lucia, how did you know it was right on the road? She had asked worriedly. Valentina had answered angrily, I don't know. It was loot. It's the right one we need right now. Go inside now. Lucia remained unconvinced by Valentina's answer. She had nervously entered the cabin, and just before she could also gain, she received a heavy blow to the head. A strange melody is what awakened a confused Lucia. The first thing she saw upon regaining herself was a possessed Camilla bound in chains. Next to her was Valentina, murmuring a melody to a song in a language she couldn't identify. Lucia, girls, what's going on? Why am I out? Valentina, I see you are awakened. Look, Lucia, you were the easiest prey to hell, a sign now of the other half of the time. Lucia, what do you mean? Valentina begins to narrate.
I don't know. If you remember that my family has an unusual religion compared to others. My ancestors had made a wrong decision. I deal with a powerful demon of who seeks solace for the loss of a son from your family. That we each generation must give an innocent soul or one or all. So obviously you understand our decision. Lucia's ringing response, no, wait, please. Valentina, it was either you or my sister. I hope you understand, Lucia. Sweet dreams. In the end, became an eternal night for Lucia that she would never forget.